Hey guys, welcome to the Centre Bounce on what is this Tuesday before the grand final is probably the way to go. It is your boy Big J, and unfortunately Joe is out today. Had a bit of a family thing happening, and yeah, you've just got me. But if you guys want, I'm more than happy to throw up the discussion link, throw up the invite link in the chat so you guys can jump on, say hello, talk all things footy. We might be here for, let's say, about an hour or so. We'll see how we go with the discussions and whatnot. But, mate, the day after Brownlow, the day after, what was, I guess, huge controversy this year's Brownlow. I think most years, I remember Paddy Cripps getting saved by the lawyers. Remember other things happening in previous years as well, but I don't think we've had as many travesties as what we've had. Harry Sheasel didn't get 3 votes for his 54 touch, 2 goal bonanza. Worst off, Nazaya didn't get 3 votes for his game-winning performance. Feels like the AFL and just kind of their narrative of who they want to win and who they don't want to win definitely kind of plays out quite tough in the AFL. If you guys saw me up on Twitter, you would have seen, hey, Big J was talking about Gold Coast and how, I'm almost glad that they didn't make it into the grand final because the AFL is going to fund them out with fantastic picks. They're going to get 5 or 6 first rounders in the first round and, academy selections and whatnot. Matt Rowell, was he the best player? Was he not? There's a bit of controversy there. I think as kind of who the AFL thinks is going to be the mad selection and the person every single time that comes on, they can push. They can definitely push. And, the AFL and Gold Coast winning a grand final, getting best and fairest, getting kind of Norm Smiths, getting Matt Rowell as the number one, as the Brownlow selection, all in the same year, just follows their narrative of, hey, let's push Gold Coast. Let's try and make it a superstar place to go. And yeah, it's a bit rough. So what can you do? But we move on. We see how we go. I don't know if Joe's I can see a sneaky Joe, but just let him join if he wants to. Joe, join if you want. Mark, how you doing, Mark? Sign up coaches, ready to chat and lots to talk about. There you go. Henry, how you doing, Henry? I'm doing well, mate. I'm doing well. Nice to be here. Definitely. I'm in. Send me the link. There you go. Hey, Tandems, how you doing, mate? Congrats to Matty Rowell. Had a great season. I posted up on Twitter as well. I was like, hey, Matt Rowell Brownlow season definitely is shown by how he was in Supercoach. Because Matt Rowell, 440K, we know what he did after that. Joe, it's a bit of a reversal. You are doing the magic head and I am doing the stream on. So there you go. How's it going, Joe? Nice to have you around. I don't know if
going well, mate.
There you go.
Yeah, I'm doing all right. You don't normally have a floating head. You normally just have a J or something. But I've got a face at least. So
yep.
Just you already know. Obviously, got something personal going on, which has held me up a little bit. So I've just got back in the car now and able to join. And yeah, congrats to Matt Rowell. Look, he has had a career best season for sure, and the Suns obviously have had their best ever season as well. But I refuse to believe that he was that much better than Noah Anderson. Personally, I don't think Noah Anderson was that far below him. And what makes me laugh a lot as well is that Matt Rowell was one prohibited umpire touch away from suspension, wasn't he? So it's kind of funny to me that for someone who was one touch away from suspension and yet he's gotten the second most votes of all time, clearly the umpires liked it when he touched them and they gave him extra votes all the time. So, I guess the umpires like a little bit of Matt Rowell. Congratulations to him. And it just goes to show, though, that the system isn't quite as it once was.
Yeah, definitely. it goes back to what I was saying before, Joe, about Paddy Cripps and the lawyers. Matt Rowell, one touch away. Always feels like the AFL can kind of twist things into whatever narrative they want and who they want to win in that particular year. I mean, we can talk ends on ends about how Jack Viney apparently had a better game than Nazaya. How Sheep get 3 votes for his world-breaking, disposal game, and yeah, just kind of the way that it works. I totally agree. There were some really terrible games by Matt Rowell throughout the season where somehow he's still got 2 or 3 votes. Games where he just disappeared. Hence his kind of poor uh, stuff with Supercoach and Price and whatnot. So yeah, I mean we can talk about this one for hours and hours and hours. As I said, and as some people here are saying, Gold Coast will win a flag sooner rather than later. We'll see. They're definitely be in the competing for it in the position. And Joe, I'm not sure if you saw a bit of the news, but apparently Petrarca now wants to go to Gold Coast. So I wonder if he'll take a hit to the cash, but then get signed up by some AFL ambassador or something.
Why wouldn't you want to go to Gold Coast at this point? It's a place that has been building for a long period of time. They've finally made it to finals, and they've won a final as well. So it's not like you're going to some place that is irrelevant. You're going to a place that has been building. You've got one of the best modern day coaches in Dimmer Hardwick there. They've clearly recruited very shrewdly. They're going to be loaded up with talent in the draft. And because they're an AFL Nepo baby, they're going to have a lot of money to be able to splash on players as well. You get to leave Victoria. I mean, how good is that to move up to Queensland where you get to enjoy the warmth?
They got good weather.
They got great weather. It's obviously a lot less popular than it is over here. It's a lot less of a footy bubble than it is over here. So there's a lot of benefits to going to a Gold Coast Suns at the moment. And it's crazy to think this wasn't the case a few years ago. But as we say, good people make good football clubs. And they've transformed the Suns into a place where you'd like to go. And I would personally like it if Charlie Curnow went to Gold Coast as opposed to going to Geelong. I think he'd be a great fit at the Suns, and he'd be the perfect foil to get them even closer to a flag in the next year or two.
What happens to the likes of a Jed Walter then? If Curnow ends up there, does Jed Walter, does all their other plethora of good picks end up leaving? Just don't know. We've got a few comments in the chat, Joe, talking about the votes and what was this Brownlow. If you had said to me at the start of yesterday, hey, this is going to be the Brownlow predictor. Matt Rowell is going to have something like 17 best on ground games. Nick Dacos will be second. Bailey Smith will be third. Jordan Dawson, fourth. I mean, I guess looking at these teams though, right? Matt Rowell definitely has some competition for points, and we'll talk about that. Nick Dacos, maybe not so much, but his brother and a few other players definitely had big games. Bailey Smith, you would assume Holmes and a few other players, especially Dangerfield, definitely take some points off him at periods of time. But then Jordan Dawson, Brayshaw, Noah Anderson, Bont, Max Gawn, 8th or something on the Brownlow, and then the poor old Nazaya, Joe, down here all the way down. Look, I basically have to scroll to go and find where Nazaya is. It's yeah, there's some interesting voting, I have to say, especially for some of these games.
Look, we always, umpiring is always criticised, and I think it's clear that umpires see the game differently than we do. And we also don't really know, and there were 21 instances, I think I saw, 21 instances where players were given the 10 coaches' votes, but did not poll on Brownlow medal night. So you can clearly tell that the umpires are looking at the game from a different lens than what coaches,
they get paid.
even pundits, who clearly have a lot of money riding on these things. So, they're clearly seeing the game from a different perspective, and we don't really know what that perspective is, other than we can just look at the track record, and they seem to really like the in and under players, the players that are under their nose, the players that they're seeing a lot of, and that's what Matt Rowell and that's what Paddy Cripps are. They're the in and under, in your face, doing the hard yards, and maybe what the umpires are prioritizing more than anything, more so than skill on the outside necessarily. They don't really care if the player's a good kicker or not. I mean, you look at the Brownlow medalists of the last few years, outside of Dusty Martin, I don't think there are too many amazing outside kicks. And that the general mold tends to be the Captain Courageous or the big-bodied mid that can swoop in, get the ball, ride a bump, break through a tackle, and get a handball out. That's what they seem to like. And I guess there is room in the AFL for different types of players to get their recognition. It's just interesting to me that the umpires call is on such a big prestigious night, whereas for me, I would absolutely prioritize the Lee Matthews MVP award, for example, or the coach's vote. I'd have those on their own standalone nights. I wouldn't be giving the umpires medal all of this prestige, if you know what I mean.
Yeah, as Tatum's saying here, they don't vote on a Brownlow based on disposal efficiency. There you go. I mean, going off the Brownlow a little bit last night, Joe, I know you guys were doing streaming with Fancast and whatnot. We did not win the Rising Star. We came close.
No.
We did not win. We were there up until the end. Good old Murphy Reed, but just kind of talking about the Rising Star just in general, mate. Did you see on the stream all the names they got wrong with the Rising Star? There was Melbourne's Dan Curtin. There was Murphy Reed playing for Melbourne. There was a whole bunch. If you go up on Twitter, you'll be able to see all the names and stuff, everything with the Rising Star that the televised just got wrong. It was hilarious. So, yeah, it was pretty funny.
Got one job. Got one job.
Got one job, Joe, and they know exactly where they're going to be sitting everywhere. But yeah, congrats to Murphy Reed there. Definitely a breakout year for him. Part of why Freo did so well, but I don't know if he definitely had the better game compared to a few other people, or at least not to score as highly compared to. I wonder if they've got the ladder on how many from each. Blah blah blah. I guess not.
So who are the top five? So obviously Murphy Reed, Dan Curtin would be up there. Levi Ashcroft would be up there.
Levi Ashcroft, Langford got one, and then Connor O'Sullivan, I believe.
And what? So there's no mention of Roberts at all?
No.
What?
Yep.
I don't know. Maybe I'm biased. But this kid played for a bottom four team that was absolutely hammered by injury every single week. And he put up some very impressive numbers and even got to go into the midfield a little bit. So I don't know. I'm disappointed that Matt Roberts didn't even make it into the top five. But, I mean, that's all I can say. That's all I can say.
So if we have a look at these, Murphy Reed got 48 votes, which I think was a bit crazy. Next one up was Dan Curtin, and then Levi Ashcroft, and then Langford, and then Connor O'Sullivan. So yeah, I 100% I understand, Joe. It's, I guess kind of teams that win games get seen a lot more than teams that don't win games, and you've got to be, a Harry Sheezel kind of dominator to end up having a lot more votes and a lot more seen, I guess, in the AFL scene. So there you go. It's a bit rough otherwise.
Crazy that they haven't seen enough of him. I mean, we had every Thursday or Friday night game.
Exactly.
Basically. Right. I can't believe they couldn't see Matt Roberts. Like, he's, I don't know. I'd have
Archie Roberts.
Yeah, Archie Roberts. Why am I saying Matt Roberts for? Who the fuck's Matt Roberts?
I mean, like, you got a Sydney tear. Joe, Snoop Dogg is in Melbourne. There you go, hanging out with the Dacos brothers. I always thought that was pretty funny. What else is news? Let me have a quick look. Heading into the medical room is probably the big thing.
Speaking of Snoop Dogg, what do we think he's going to sing?
Oh, I don't know. They'll figure it out. they'll be like, hey, just play your 10 best songs, blah, 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 and we'll see.
He drops the N word though, and he drops.
Yeah,
He drops a lot of words. Are we gonna? Is he gonna play a sanitized version?
The N word, the
Oh,
F word. There was all that
100%.
controversy about him making all the anti-homosexual comments and whatnot,
Slurs.
and then the Eve of Rankins thing happening, and then that happening as well. So yeah, it's an interesting time, I think, definitely.
It's going to be sanitized, you reckon?
Whatnot,
he's going to play radio edits, radio soft.
Yeah, man.
Why not? No
he
swearing.
Goes from playing. At least he came to Melbourne. Let's be honest. Someone said to me today. She said, "Hey, why couldn't we get Taylor Swift?" I'm like, Taylor Swift's not coming to Australia to play the grand final. Let's be honest. We're lucky we got Snoop Dogg. Like, yeah, it's he'll probably be here promoting like another menu log ad or something like that to jump on. Whatever it is to promote his next album or tie in. Maybe he's filming a movie in Australia and he magically got on there. So, yeah, apparently he's got a family-friendly set. Did it at the Super Bowl. Snoop is awesome. There you go. Jack,
yeah, I'm really keen. I'm really keen for Snoop. I can't wait for him. I like Snoop Dogg personally. Nothing personal. I love Eminem as well.
How you doing, Jack? How are we going? Doing well? Go the Lions. Have to watch my game at 5 a.m. because he's in Norway celebrating in bed. Oh, there you go. There you go. Maybe that's your longest person.
5 a.m. That's dedication.
Yeah. I guess there's some people that watch European soccer, right? They watch the EFL and all those places, EPL, sorry. They'll watch that at like 2 a.m. So 5 a.m. you could be a tradie, Jack, and just go to work afterwards. That'd be all right. Talking about injury list, Joe. Injury list is probably a big thing heading into this week. And, Lachie Neale, they spoke to him just after the Brisbane game, and he said, yep, I'm going to try and do my best. Apparently, according to DR and a few other people that went and watched them train during this week, he's actually looking really good and probably comes in, which is a crazy kind of situation. Tatum saying here, will Lions take the risk? I think they will. With Lachie Neale, I think they will. 100%. I think Berry will be out. I think Lachie Neale will slot straight in and they'll move some players around, but can 100% him seeing him get selected and playing. So
Fagan backs in his boys.
Yeah, he's done the work, man.
Yeah, especially his captain. I can see him. If Lachie Neale puts his hand up and says, "I'm fit, play me," I can't see Fagan saying no. You're not playing.
Yeah, 100%. If he's ready to go, he's ready to go, and could be a bit of the difference maker. We'll see. Heading over to Geelong, obviously a less compromised list than Brisbane, but Conway out, Kolajasny probably not, and then the big one, Tom Stewart. Now, we'll talk about, I don't know how your finals team went, Joe, last week, but mine was atrocious. I think I didn't even score 1,000 points, which is bonkers. But Tom Stewart, I had as the vice captain, played for about 15 minutes of the game, and then blop, that was it. So, yeah, pretty unlucky there for Tom Stewart. But, are you a believer of the week before the grand final having a week off, Joe, to kind of alleviate any concussion protocols, alleviate anything like a Lachie Neale test and whatnot? Or are you happy with where they are, where the break
Let's
is?
be real.
Add another one and have 2 breaks.
I mean, let's be real. We all knew this was going to happen. We all saw when they announced the bye, we all knew that there was going to come a time when a star was going to cop a concussion in the prelim, and that this conversation would happen. We all saw it coming. We all knew it was going to happen. And to be honest, I don't want a bye before the grand final. I think it will. I think it puts a damper on things. I think it slows things down. It takes a.
I think we lost you, Joe. Yeah, I think Stewart's going to be out for Stanley. There you go, Corey, 100%. Somehow you scored 1,100 in finals. Boy, oh boy. Go the Bears, Mark. There you go. First win, 1 and 2. There you go. And then Jack's saying here, try not to wake up the new fiance. Neil is looking very good to play. I believe so as well. Feel bad for Berry and Tommy Stewart. Yeah. It's Gardner playing a final after missing last year as well. Bit rough there. And then Oscar McInerney, 100%. Just missing out on how he was and how happy he was last year for the team to win. Now he actually gets to join that himself. So
yeah, Big O, what a start, Big O. Honestly, I'm so happy for the Big O because it's so tragic. Like Darcy Fort didn't play any games at all last year, like no games whatsoever, and then just rocks up and just wins a flag at the end, essentially. So happy for the Big O. And just to finish up what I was saying in relation to the concussions, there's no guarantee that even if you had the bye, that Tom Stewart would be right to go because different bodies react differently and recover differently from concussions. So you might end up having that extra bye for no reason.
Yeah, no, I get that as well. I guess kind of if it was a Paddy Dangerfield or something, he'd just have them resting on the bench and then walk on, or a Pendlebury or somebody, they'll just force themselves to come through. So we'll see. We'll see there. I do, Big J, think the bye should only be before the granny. Award the 2 teams making the granny, not the entire top 8. Also takes away some advantage for the top 4. I guess kind of the double win definitely helps quite a lot too. I mean, Brisbane lost their first bye round, didn't they, Joe, from memory? Geelong won both, but Brisbane lost the first one and had to make their way back. So I guess they still do have the top 4 advantage a little bit there.
Yeah, I don't think the top 4 necessarily are prejudiced against by having the bye before the finals. If anything, it gives everybody a chance to rest up and recuperate because no one wants a blowout in the finals. We all want to see high quality football, and I can understand where the I guess it benefits more teams. And I think if you made it to the top 8, you sort of already have a disadvantage baked in if you're a bottom 4 side that you haven't got the double chance. So I don't know. I'm all for. I don't mind the bye being before the finals personally.
Yeah, enough fair. Like I know me and yourself, Joe. I think we're going to end up going to the AFLW game on Friday. We'll see if that's been penciled in or not, but. Corey's going and a few others. I've got a couple of people going. So just them being able to do stuff like that because of the AFL happening and whatnot, changing it up and supporting another game definitely kind of does a lot. Maybe if you had, I don't even know if you could do it, have some form of state of origin or something happening in that extra week if they were to take time off. But I'm glad that kind of it is what it is at the moment. Charles, how you doing? Charles can't join tonight. I'm out with the wife. That's all right, Charles. I can't believe S Lions are back. I'll take you on the Lions on Saturday. There you go. We don't want a Brisbane versus Sydney grand final like last year, 60 points. Yeah, it's Joe and I have spoken a lot about it, Jack, but this final series, outside of maybe one game, has been really tough. And everybody who's playing has actually warranted being there at that point in time. So, yeah, very, very happy with the showing that we've had this year, Joe. I assume you're the same. And bring on next year when there's like 10 or 11 really competitive teams.
Oh, this year was... The finals have been good for the most part. The season itself, though, was definitely a lot lackluster. It was very much a top 9 versus the divide between the top 9 and the bottom 9 was very evident right from basically the start. And there was a long period of time, I think, ever since round 6, where essentially the top 9 were the same top 9 for the rest of the season. And I guess it did make for a very close and entertaining final series. So I guess all the pain and the boredom, I suppose, of the top 9 being the bottom 9 ended up creating a really exciting final series. So hopefully next year, with more competitiveness, you obviously get different sort of matchups. And look forward to the finals are the best. This is what we watch footy for, really. It's for finals.
Yeah, 100%. I guess kind of piggybacking off that as well. I mean, you've got teams like North Melbourne and whatnot that didn't obviously do very well, but had competitive games. And, you know, if we had a few games where those 7-point losses turned into wins, things would have been a lot different too. So there's potential for a few more teams to be really competitive. But I think kind of the strength of a league is having so many have the potential to win throughout the season. And then maybe 2 or 3 rebuilding, and then they recycle and whatnot. So, yeah, we'll see with that. What do you feel, Joe, about this? We'll see what happens with it. But what do you feel about wild card? Have you had much thought on wild card and if it's going to happen, and
I hate
kind
it.
of
I
what
hate
your
it.
thoughts on?
I hate it.
Yeah,
I find it despicable almost. Like, imagine you've played 24 rounds of football, and you've made it in the 8 after 24 weeks of a long season, a long slog, and then all of a sudden you get to the end and it's like, no, actually, sorry, you have to justify your finish at the end, and you have to play another game to justify you playing in finals, and you miss out on the bye and the rest that the top 6 have. I just think I think it's terrible. I think
yeah,
it's an extra game, and I suppose you're adding some spice to the teams that finished 9 and 10. But why should they get a chance? Why should 9 and 10 be given an opportunity to play? It's not the
yep,
top 9 and 10. It's the top 8. And if you finish top 8, guess what? You play finals. I really hate the idea that a team that finished 10th could end up on a random fluke of a day beat number 8, where they were sick, for example, and that week they were going to be off on a bye anyway. All of a sudden, no, sorry, you have to justify your existence in the 8. No, piss off. I already had 24 weeks to justify my existence, and here I am. So, yeah, no, I hate it personally.
yeah, definitely. I mean, like, imagine all those clubs and those teams that had, oh, well, you missed finals on percentage. Well, you know, you can get another shot and try and make finals. So there you go. Hey, bro, Boston, how you doing? 100% agree with you, Joe. Get that shit rule out of here. Has there been confirmation, Joe, that they're going to get rid of the sub rule for next year?
I think they're not no confirmation, but I think they are reporting that they are very confident that it's going to be a 5-man bench and no sub.
Yep. Yeah, fair enough. So we got a few delistings and some trade news, Joe. Collingwood just axed Markov. Cool. Could end up being a half-decent player for someone who wants some backline depth. Johnson, Finn McRae, Joe. The good old super coach spud / temptation every year. Finn McRae and then Charlie Dean.
Does it go to the Saints, you reckon, now?
Oh, potentially. We'll see what happens. North Melbourne, sad to say, Joe, I'm so upset about this. Bench, the guy that should have won Mark of the Year, seeing as Darcy basically said, hey, I didn't actually mark it, and you guys gave me the mark, and now I've won. So Bench gets robbed, gets another contract, and we've recontracted CCJ, Joe, for another year.
Bro, the way you were talking about it, the way you were talking,
spots and get CCJ.
I don't even care, bro. The way you were setting that up, the way you were setting up this sentence, it sounded like you were setting up the fact that you were going to delist Bench. The way you were talking about delistings and shit, and unfortunately Bench, who didn't win. I'm like, are you kidding me? Not only did he not win the Mark of the Year, you've also delisted him? How stupid could you be? Oh man, you gave me a heart attack there. Stuff it, bro. CCJ, he can be rookie listed. Who gives a crap? You know, he's not the worst. He just needs to get his body right.
Yep. Yeah. Apparently, there's been some talk, Joe, that Ridley is now staying. That Zachy Merritt potentially is staying as well.
No, he's going.
He's going to go. Is that your news now?
No, he was always going to go. This is all just to increase his trade value.
Todd the Goldstein is gone.
Yes.
So Brad Scott loves delisting North Melbourne superstars, Joe. Boomer, Farito, everybody else, and now Todd Goldstein has gone.
Are we seriously comparing Todd Goldstein right now to those guys?
Well, you know.
Todd Goldstein, bless him, is 38. He's 38.
I know. But at least,
he has to go,
let him retire.
No, we gave him. If you read the tweet from the Bombers, it was they specifically worded it as Laverty and Goldstein are looking for player contracts at other clubs. That, if you read between the lines, suggests that we've offered Goldstein a contract. It was a coaching contract. It wasn't a playing contract, but he wants to keep playing, so he's looking to exercise his ability to go elsewhere. Who's going to pick him up is the question, though.
Well, that's it.
He clearly must have been given a wink from somebody for him to
I would
explore.
take him over CCJ. I'm saying it now. I would take him back over CCJ and just say, mate, if Cherry somehow gets necked, you can come in. But then that's it. Let me just go through some of these comments here. Chances are next year it won't be such a gap. Yeah, I don't think it will be such a gap. I think North definitely have upside, Jack. Remembering Lions finished last 2017-18. Then we bring in Fagan. Mate, I hope so, but not with this poor list management. I don't think there would be another club in the AFL that would have contracted CCJ. I posted up on Twitter, Jack. CCJ has played 4 games in 2 years. Let that sit in. And I think the year before that he played 5 games.
Cheers.
So, yeah. It's not great. Yep.
Cheers. North Melbourne will finish higher than Collingwood next year.
No. Is that going to be the bet? Because I would put money on that for not happening.
North finishes higher than Collingwood next year.
All right, guys, you heard it here first. North will finish higher than Collingwood this year. I will do up a Canva after this, and then it will post it up, and then it will be existing forever. Yeah, we spoke about that one. Joe, don't forget to watch The Girl. I watched The Girls last Sunday. 15-minute quarter. Nice. Yeah, we're going to go watch them on the weekend. Sorry, on Friday. Hi, Joe. Nickelback impersonation. You're doing it right there, Joe.
Hey, Langy. How are you, Langy?
There you go. Hate it too. Awarding the mediocre teams isn't a great idea. I mean, we can talk about equalisation being such a great thing when Geelong's going to get Curnow, Warpool and half a dozen other players on less money. Gold Coast going to get more stars. Brisbane going to get more stars. I think West Coast is probably the only team out there that's bottom of the ladder that actually gets half decent trade targets in, especially if Starcevic is going to go on the 1 million plus train like I've heard. So yeah, it's equalization. Rich get richer, Joe. The poorer get poorer, and then Zach Merritt goes for a few first round picks. So yeah, it's a bit rough. Yep. Gold Coast made the grand final, 16 games in a row from their bye, top 4. Yeah, there you go. 5-man bench for next year. There you go. Finn McRae is surprising. Yeah, I think so as well. But he's always just played one game and then not one game and then one game again. Joe, if you're talking, we cannot hear you. So there you go.
No, I'm not saying anything.
Cool. Gone the sub. Talked about on Friday. 100%. Supercoach is going to be good again, Joe. Or we're just players are just going to score less in terms of excuse me, going to score less in terms of points because we just don't have, as many points to spread around.
No, it will definitely be better from a cash generation perspective because it means that the rookies that are named are going to play a full game.
Yep.
So ultimately, more teams. Ultimately, the cash gen next year is going to be is probably going to be the best it's been for a number of years.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, halfway through the season, and this was my prediction with the 4 players playing, right? Halfway through the season, you're going to get a couple of teams or a team that one of their guys gets injured, and then it's going to be like, oh, it's unfair that the opposition has 5 bench players and we've only got 4. I wish we could sub one of our players out. So, yeah, I don't know what's going to happen there, but can 100% see someone complaining about it. Probably Chris Scott. North, are we going to sign Jaden Stevenson, mate? Look, we'll see. I don't think it's ever going to happen, but I could totally see a world where he leaves. Oh, sorry, he gets picked up by someone like a Geelong. They've been great with kind of rebranding these type of players. Could totally see them going there and being like, "Hey, superstar Jaden Stevenson." So, yeah, he just needs a format where and a structure where he only has to do one job, and if he can get the one job that he needs to, if they say we don't need you to tackle, we just need you to play forward and kick a goal, cool, lock him in. He's going to be able to do that in any team. So it was when we actually asked him to play like an AFL player and tackle and whatnot that he kind of fell apart. So yeah, there you go. Boston's rooting for Geelong, Joe. Nice to see your face. It's been pretty good.
Thank you.
Merit to the Hawks is a done deal. You reckon?
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah.
Now I know he met with Andrew Welsh, our new president, who has stepped up at the moment. He's going to go to the best and fairest. I think. Look, there's a chance. I'm not going to never say never. There might be a chance that he does stay. Obviously talking with the new president at the moment, and the timeline is interesting in that respect. But at the same time, look, if he's expressed that he wants to go and we can get a great deal out of him, then I reckon just do it. He's not going to be around there to see our success. He's not going to be around to be in our next premiership. So, look, if him going helps to expedite the process, we get a couple of draft picks or we get a really good player out of it, I'm all for
it. Yeah, no, definitely. Maybe we'll use the picks and go and grab someone else. Joe, I'm not sure if you've seen the rumor, but Sam Pfaff on Twitter, the good old Sam Pfaff, Twitter merchant, apparently North is looking at Jamara, Joe, or at least the story goes that he has met with Jai Simpkin and done a bit of a tour around the premises. Now, I thought St Kilda was going to be his selection. I think that would make the most sense, given how all the players have come in and draft picks and whatnot. But, North's coloured heritage with Clarko and Indigenous players and whatnot. Jamara to North, Joe, what do you reckon?
That would be amazing for you guys if you have the. Obviously, he's a ripper talent
too. I think you could get him out with the second round pick.
Well, obviously, he's a ripper talent. The only question would be, is this like a Taron Thomas situation all over again?
Well, that's the problem.
You know what I mean? Like we're just getting another guy who has got terrible, terrible baggage, and his baggage is quite severe in terms of pistol whipping and being near drugs and drug trafficking, and there's a lot of issues there.
He'd be
and
great
if you let him in, it could honestly disrupt a lot of the good vibes and the environment of growth, development, trying to build for sustained success. And when you get someone that's clearly got their own issues like that and are clearly selfish in nature because they don't really care about how it affects people around them, it can disrupt the apple cart. And I do think sometimes that the ends do not justify the means. And I think, I think you guys are a young team that can't afford to be bringing in some real bad loose cannon like a Jamara. He might be a good player, but I wouldn't go near him personally.
Yeah. It was fun. Great atmosphere. Lines too good. There you go. Post Achilles. Wrong, Joe. Zach is to stay. A word from the president, Andrew Walsh. Andrew Walsh is saying Zach's going to stay, Joe.
Well, of course he's going to say that. I mean, you never say, our best player is gone, our captain's gone, there's no chance of him coming back. If you say those things, then you lose all leverage.
Especially before the best and fairest.
Exactly. You lose all leverage. and you no longer can strong arm to get a really good deal for me.
Mm.
Yeah. Oh, Mark, he's doubling down, tripling down.
Mark.
Oh, Mark.
Thank you very much, Mark. It's a no list for me. Andrew's staying. Yeah, we'll see. We'll see, Mark. I don't know, mate.
Do you want him gone or not? No list to me from Andrew. It's in. Zach staying, not going anywhere. Do I like no? I get it. That you're not all right. So you're not overly happy about Merritt staying, but you're willing to accept it, is what I'm reading from this. If he's staying, which I don't think he is, there is no way in the world he stays on as captain. No way. That has to be taken off him if he wants to stay. Now, I don't think he wants to stay, because if he does want to stay, he wouldn't be going out to dinner with Sam Mitchell, and he would not be talking to other clubs like Collingwood and the Bulldogs. He would not be doing that if he wanted to stay. So, for me, just let him go. Let him go, bro. Honestly. I had a lot of emotions about this. I was very pissed off to start with. I was very hurt and betrayed by him. But those emotions are now gone. And he's almost dead to me, basically. So he honestly could go. No issues there. Hey, Jack, gotta go, mate. Good to speak to you. Good luck to your Lions. Really keen. You know what? I'll go on. I'll jump on the Lions bandwagon as well. I've obviously got no skin in the game. I'm just super happy that Collingwood isn't in it and Collingwood can't win. That's all I care about. So yeah, you know what? Let's jump on the Lions. Yes, stay. No to captaincy. There you go. He's a very good player. There really isn't anyone out there that's gettable, that is close to his ability, outside of maybe, say, a Zach Butters type. Probably. Go Lions. All right, go. Langy's on the Lions as well. On you, Langy. Good to see you, my friend. Yeah, I mean, there's no one really that's gettable. There's no one really that's gettable at the moment. Now, where did we go? No way that the Pies finished below North Melbourne. Really? You don't think so? I'd put North finishing higher than the Bombers, Joe. Bro, it's not a big call saying North above Essendon. It's a big call to say North above Collingwood. If they're above Collingwood, then ipso facto they're above the Bombers as well. It's not completely crazy. Pies don't have many young guys, and if a few of the vets get injured, they could fall off. And obviously, as they get older, they're more likely to get those injuries. Look at Pendlebury. That was a big call. Big call to make for the Pies, playing Pendlebury in that game. Sidebottom not getting any younger. Elliott could be having a move to Gold Coast. His brother's up there. They've offered him a good contract. Jamie Elliott could move. Myercheck could be going as well. Not only are they aging, they're also losing a few of their players. And you got to say, Dan Houston is a little bit of a bust. Like, you can't say Dan Houston has been a successful pick. Charles, good to see you, my friend. All the best.
Hey, Charles.
Enjoy your night with your wife, my friend. So, yeah, you can't say Dan Houston has been a successful pickup for them, in my opinion. I don't think Dan Houston has lived up to his end of the bargain. So, I think they've made a mistake there. Only 1 year in, though, Joe. He could still work out. Yeah, only 1 year. Bro, did he miss any games this year? I think he's played the entire season.
Dan Houston.
Surely.
I think he missed a few games. Let me just quickly check.
Really? Top of my head, I feel like he played all the games.
I remember him at periods of time like getting injured or suspended. I remember 1 second.
Dan Houston this year.
So he's missed a couple. He's missed a couple. Round 19, he didn't play. I don't know if that was the bye round. I think round 14 was the bye round. He missed a couple of games throughout the season as well. Round 5 and 6, I think, due to suspension, and then round 3 he missed. So there you go. Yeah, missed a couple of games.
I still think that's enough football for a guy of his experience and talent to integrate into the system. And he played in a couple of finals as well. I don't know. For me, I think it's definitely been a bust of a year. They haven't gotten what they hoped out of him. It's not like Dan McStay. Dan McStay came in and immediately he just fit in really well. And 100%, it's a different structure. Exactly. They play a different way, and it hasn't worked for him. And it didn't really improve that much either throughout the course of the year. In a year or two, Herd to Essendon as CEO.
I don't think that will happen, to be honest.
CEO. Look, I want my CEO to have a lot of footy connections, to make some really good business operations behind the scenes. I don't know if Herdy could do that. Like, Herdy's only just gotten back into football, and it's not in an official football capacity. It's via media, Whereas Craig Votso at the moment, who we have, has been a list manager boss, has been a CEO basically at West Coast for a number of years, has built a lot of connections. I don't necessarily want a celebrity to be my CEO. I want someone who has ties and has insider information to be my CEO. And I don't think Herdy has that.
Yeah, like who's an actual person. I think you guys 100% need that at the moment as well. Some real stability. Like a few of these other clubs, even Carlton, have kind of come in and took in a couple of people. I think for a club to actually move up the rankings, definitely needs that kind of thing.
And you just know that the second he walks back through the doors, everyone is counting down the days when he becomes the coach again. You know what I mean? Like, there is a Messiah complex. Undeniably, there is a Messiah complex where it comes to James Hird, and there is a real soft spot for him. He's a very polarizing guy. Everyone loved him as a player, and a lot of people are they feel sorry for him after what happened with the saga, how he was used as a scapegoat, how he almost tried to take his life, how he had to go away from football. There's a lot of people who still look at James Hird very fondly. They say that we haven't improved, and for some reason they genuinely believe that he can come back and fix everything. No one guy is going to do that, especially not one guy with so much trauma to him. For me, I don't want Herdy to come back and try and save anything. I don't want him to do that. I want Herdy's gone through enough hardship, enough heartbreak, and I think he's given the club enough. I don't necessarily need him or want him to come and put himself back into that high pressure, high responsibility position. I want him to live out the rest of his days happy. Anyone that's driven to suicide it's not good. It's not good at all. I don't want him going anywhere near that. Happy for him to have that cushy spot in the media. He can defend the club from that side of things, giving a different take. More than happy for him to do that. But in terms of coming back, I wouldn't want that for him. I want him to live happy. That's for me.
Yeah, no, fair.
Brendan Gale could be Brendan Gale would be worth blank check, bro. 100%. Like if Tassie doesn't get up, Brendan Gale, that's your next CEO of the AFL. Like, if Tassie doesn't get up, just sack Andrew Dillon and put Brendan Gale in immediately. Like, the problem solved. We would not need the AFL would not be a rabble anymore if that was to happen. Happens with club legends just because it was a gun player doesn't. Yeah, exactly, 100%. I don't feel sorry for him. I just believe in second chance. Yeah, but it's almost like they're forcing it, Mark.
Yeah,
second chance.
I
hasn't asked for it.
I think with Herdy especially, kind of just piggybacking on what Joe's saying, it would be fantastic for him to come back. Like, I don't think there's a fan who, in a magical Christmas world, cool, prodigal son coming back. But I think almost for him, if he was to move back to the AFL realm, do it at a club that he doesn't have a history with, where he can prove himself and say, hey, I got this job because I'm good at my job, instead of I got this job because I used to play for the club. I think that would be fantastic for him to kind of do that. If he ends up at the Bombers after 10 years of coaching somewhere else, then okay. But let his kind of prowess and stuff do that. Because I don't even know, Joe. Do you know if if he is even doing like coaching on the side somewhere?
Yeah, he's doing it. He's doing it at Port Melbourne for the Borough.
Yep.
Which has a really strong Essendon contingency. A lot of players that retire from the Bombers end up going to play for Port Melbourne, essentially, in the VFL. So he is coaching over there in that respect, but he's not the head coach. He's an assistant coach there. And for me, if Hurdy wanted to come back to coach at senior level, I probably would hazard a guess that he would be a lot more comfortable coming through, at least as an assistant, as into a head coach position. So I personally can't see him coaching at AFL level again, not after what he's gone through, which is immense. I can't see him going through it again. But you never know. There might be a club out there that would love to have him on, similar to what the Giants did, having him on as a leadership consultant type of thing, to work with the boys, to teach them what leadership is like, because he is a premiership captain. So I can understand where a club might want him to do that as an assistant coach. But in terms of head coaching, I can't see it.
Yeah. So another interesting one, Joe. Liam Jones has just been delisted. So there you go.
Not surprised. Not surprised.
There's going to be a few clubs that are going to pick him up too. So we'll see if he's fully fit and ready to go.
Who? How old is he?
I don't know. I remember him being
Liam Jones
player. Maybe
he's 34.
Mate,
he's got no legs.
Let's be honest. How old is Aiden Core, Joe?
Yeah, I know, but he's got no speed. He's aging.
Maybe
Stephen May also has probably maybe 1 year in him or two. But Liam Jones, at least, isn't a flog the same way that Stephen May is. So Stephen May, not only is Stephen May old in terms of being a 34-year-old, he's probably a better defender than Liam Jones as well. Don't get me wrong. But he's a dickhead. Yeah, but he's also a dickhead that fights with his teammates. He's a flog in every sense of the word. So I really don't know who would want to touch Stephen May at this point. The same thing with Liam Jones. Obviously, doesn't come with that baggage, but he's old and slow. I think those two guys might be done. Really, I don't know if Carlton might want to hazard.
Someone's VFL team getting a big boost. Tell you what.
Yeah, I think so. I don't know. What other teams you guys want a key defender? I would not want you for the same reason that I wouldn't want you to get Jamara. I wouldn't want you to get Stephen May. Just terrible for culture. Liam Jones, I don't think will be the answer for you either, because you're not contending next year, and he's 34. So I don't know, man. I just think I just think they're delistings. The pressure would be huge if he came back. Yes, 100%. He's already been asked 100 times if he doesn't want to coach again. 100%, Joshua. 100%. He'll never coach at AFL level. Agreed. That's what I said. Yep. My super coach team is now 6. I'm above you guys because I got rid of the pigeons. That's right. You get rid of those Hawk players, and all of a sudden the team looks good. Well, there you go. Joel got his 3 weeks thrown out. Congratulations to Marbior.
Rip for where's the justice, Joe?
What justice?
If you play for North, then you get in trouble. If you play for anyone else and do a similar act, you probably get a pat on the back and a free ice cream. Let's be honest. So, bit
Curtis Taylor should Paul Curtis absolutely should not have been suspended. Yeah, that Paul Curtis tackle still today is an absolute ridiculous call. And him not being in the 22 under 22 is a farce.
Yep.
The AFL just have an anti-North Melbourne agenda for some reason.
Yeah, they do. They do. They don't like us.
Nobody wants me. No, nobody wants me. 100%. 34 would be young at Collingwood. True. He'd be a baby.
Look, I as I said with Jaden Stevenson, I could 100% see a world where Stephen May just slots straight into a Geelong team. He's good enough that he plays 2 or 3 games at a crucial time and then they win. They just say, "Cool, just rest up in the VFL, do whatever you need to do." If SDK/Stewart/ half a dozen other players get injured, then he goes in. I think it could end up working quite well for him.
No one at Geelong would accept Stephen May.
We'll see. We'll see, man.
Because they have a great culture. They have a great culture, and people talk. If we know that Stephen May's a dickhead, I can guarantee you the footy players know so much more than we do. And there are a bunch of teams that on paper could be a good fit for him. But the fact that no one is biting and people are just saying no. Sorry, just no. It just goes. They clearly know more than what we do. There's no way he can waltz into Geelong and Geelong welcome him with open arms. There'd be a lot of critical eyes and judging for sure. Liam Jones will go back to Southport. Yeah, I reckon. I still can't believe that the Waffle Grand Final ended that way with a non-50 call for free. I haven't even seen this. The Waffle Grand Final.
And Hamish Free I think he ended up winning, which is cool. So there you go, former North Melbourne player actually wins something.
Very nice, very nice. Worst suspension of for sure. Paul Curtis should have won goal of the year. Yeah, definitely better one. Or Sam Flanders, the soccer out of the air in the pocket in the rain. That was also ridiculous. The Sam Flanders one, I'd give that one. If you want a Sun to win, the Sam Flanders goal was way higher, more difficulty than what Noah Anderson did, and the Ben King mark was better than Darcy. I'd say the bench mark was better than Darcy's. So,
Well, Darcy didn't even mark it, though.
And Elliott's, absolutely. That Elliott mark, they need to. That's now 2 years in a row where the best mark of the year happened in the final series. Yeah. Last year was Isaac Heaney. So they need to change that one. Yeah, even the Ashcroft goal. Yeah. Like there's a lot of. They pick really weird ones, man. I don't know how
they can. They should just be able to do something like have the scores and the mark of the year and stuff as they're doing now, but then make it something like that for the final series. Like maybe you don't have to include the grand final because obviously the things beforehand. But I would not be afraid of them putting another. Maybe call it like the Dangerfield Award or something. Have it as like the mark of the year during the final series. All these players, that the Mason Cox Award, the guy that just shows up in the preliminary final and does something. Goal of the year is the Dom Sheed Award, whatever it is, Joe. Where like just something amazing during the final series that these players can be rewarded for as well. I think would people would not be against it. I think.
Yeah.
I think
fair enough. I don't mind that at all. Focus. Oh, sorry. Like the pies, the pigeons are umpires' pets. I'd say the bulldogs are also big umpires' pets as well, Mark. The doggies always get the free kicks in the midfield.
Collingwood always just complain, and then the umpires give them free kicks.
The one time they complained though and didn't get the free kick was the Jamie Elliott front on.
Yeah.
Well done to the umpire. Well done to the umpire. That was not a free kick. And everyone is losing their mind about that. If I was to pull up with that.
We'll see.
If I was to pull up the laws of the game for AFL, all right, I'm going to share the screen. I'm going to come present, share screen. Okay. All right, so these are the laws of Australian football. We're going to go down, dismiss. All right, we're going to go down to, what page is that? This is match provisions, marking the football, free kicks, marking contests, page 52, 18.5. Okay, you get a 52. $18.5. All right, here we are. Marking contests. Spirit intention. The player whose sole objective is to contest or spoil a mark shall be permitted to do so. Free kicks. A field umpire shall award a free kick in a marking contest against a player where the player holds or blocks an opposition player. That didn't happen. Unduly pushes or bumps an opposition player. I don't think he did that. Deliberately interferes with the arms of an opposition player. No, he clearly had his eyes on the ball, led with his hand as a fist, and he hit the ball. Makes contact to an opposition player from front on, and whose sole objective is not to contest or spoil a mark. Well, clearly his intention was to contest or spoil the mark because he clearly spoiled the ball. He hit the ball. Makes an unrealistic attempt to contest or spoil the mark, which interferes. It was an unrealistic attempt because his hand actually did hit the ball. Permitted contact. Incidental contact in a marking contest will be permitted if the player's sole objective is to contest or spoil a mark. Clearly, the guy's sole intention was to contest or spoil the mark. He clearly spoiled it. He was running back with his head arched. He had his eye on the ball every step of the way, led with the fist, not with the body, led with the fist, and his hand did hit the ball. It was a clean spoil, and in the act of spoiling, he made incidental contact. Based on this rule, it's correct. Now, you want to argue that previous free kicks were not applied correctly? Doesn't mean, just because there were other mistakes earlier in the year in its interpretation, doesn't mean that this one is now wrong. In fact, this is the correct interpretation. And when we are in finals, you want the correct interpretation to be applied. You don't want mistakes in the umpiring in finals. That's the last spot that we need. During the regular season, if you're going to make mistakes, make the mistakes over there. But during the finals, you want it to be as written. And that's exactly what happened. That's exactly what happened. In my opinion, it is not a free kick. And the umpire was correct to do so, to not pay it. And let's be real, they weren't going to win anyway. The Pies were not going to win that game. Did you see Eddie complaining about Zorko fine? So there should have been 50,000 and a free. Of course, Eddie is going to complain about that. 100% Eddie was going to $50,000 fine for ripping off the. Oh, piss off, Eddie Maguire. This is not Who Wants to Be a Millionaire. 100%. Membry should have just kicked the goal. He was, 35 out directly in front, and he's their best set shot kick. Instead, we're going to kick a high, loopy ball. So stupid. That was a bad mistake. Joe, you must be the. What's that even supposed to mean? What does that even mean? Beugs is a non-standard spelling of the slang term bongs. Typically common in Australia where it refers to homemade plastic bong. Joe, you must be the. I must be the bongs. Is that what it's saying?
There you go, Joe. You're the bongs, Joe.
I am the bongs. I am all of the bongs.
You're the bongs, Joe. Lock it in.
Yes, and bongs. It's probably a free kick 9 times out of 10, but I'm glad it wasn't paid. Got to give defenders a chance. Didn't matter to the result anyway. Lions were always winning. Only Pies could suck about one umpire call and lose by 5 goals.
Yeah, I think.
Yeah, fair enough.
Where a lot of people stand still too.
A report just came out. Lockie Neal's playing. Oh, there you go.
Told ya, it's happening.
You know, you can't turn that down.
All the world's coming together, Joe. It's me like, yep, lock it in, Eddie.
The Hawks are worse. More forwards playing for. Yeah, it disgusts me. It does disgust me a lot. So in relation to that, the player got a free. Then they kicked the ball away after the siren. Wasn't given a 50. Should have been a shot 35 meters out. Wow.
Someone got greased that game, I tell you what.
Let me see if I can play it. I think this is it. So this is the controversial. So this is the controversial end to the game, apparently. And according to this article, it's been given the green tick. Former AFL umpire Dean Margetts has ticked off the controversial finish. Of course they have. They always do that.
They're not going to say no. They're not going to say,
No,
we did the wrong thing. No chance.
So where are we looking at? We'll have to go to the end. Jeez, where was this? Oh, so they're saying we need a 50. Ball tapped down. Gets the ball. Caught high on the ball there. Caught high on the ball. Umpire has clearly paid the free kick. And then he's gone and kicked the ball away. Okay. I see that. And so now the players are saying he's just kicked the ball away. Should be 50.
Mm-hmm.
And the umpires are not having a bar of it. Interesting. Very interesting. So how do they justify this? The decision, while Baker was too far out to score, kick the ball away in jubilation instead of handing it back. Given that Baker still had to take the kick to finish the game, East Perth's players felt a 50-minute penalty should have been awarded, much as it would have at any other stage of the game. While that would have been the case when the clock was ticking, Margetts says the correct call was made, as time-wasting 50-minute penalties can't be paid once the siren has gone. Because you're not technically wasting time when there is no time left. South Fremantle will have the footy in their hand, and they're about to hand the ball back. Then he hears a siren, and injured players kicks the ball away. To the East Perth players' credit, they were still in tune with the game and thought that should be 50. But in essence, the umpires got it 100% right. You cannot pay a time-wasting or delay of game once the siren has sounded. The only time a 50-minute penalty will be paid is if you run over the mark, giving away a holding free or a slap in the face type of thing. Yeah. That's the thing. Like, I don't consider it necessarily them being robbed, because that has happened at AFL level before. Wasn't there a game when the Swans were playing against someone else and Nick Blakey kicked the ball away after the siren in celebration, and everyone was saying that they wanted a 50-minute penalty?
Yeah, I'm not sure.
I could have sworn there was an incident when Nick Blakey kicks ball.
Where's Causa? Causa will know.
Could have sworn there was an incident when Nick Blakey kicked the ball away after siren. Or maybe it wasn't Nick Blakey. Maybe it was a Sydney. I think it was definitely a Sydney Swans player. Sydney Kicks ball away after siren. Swan not penalised. Yes. I think it was... Yeah. So it was against Richmond. That's right. So the siren sounds. It was a free kick to Richmond. Chad Warner kicks the ball away in celebration, and everyone's saying that it should have been a 50-meter penalty. I remember this. I do remember this moment, actually. That's why I thought it was Blakey. No, it was actually Warner. So it's happened AFL level, and the AFL ticked off on that. So there you go. No complaints. Sorry, guys. No 50-minute penalty for you. Can sort of see from both sides. Looks like it should have been a 50. True, I guess can't waste time. There's none left. Indeed. Happy Monday morning. My Chicago Bears won, and they won in a big way. 31-14. Ooh, very impressive. How's your side going? I'm running 3-4 in 3 leagues, and in big one, I'm 24-34. Man, I don't know. I've dare I say, I've already dropped off from just about all fantasy formats at this point, unfortunately. Yeah, what's my ranking at the moment? We got a home. I'm not doing the best. I'm currently ranked 3,353 in the NFL. 3,353. So it's not the worst, not the best out of 31,500. So it's a top 11%. Hopefully we can improve on that. But yeah, I haven't been following, unfortunately. Life has gotten in the way, and I've been very busy with other things. Cool. So tips for the grand final. What do you reckon?
It's an interesting one, Joe. Obviously, there's 2 teams. One could win,
yes.
One could not win. Look, I don't know. I would love, I think, for I'm going to say for Brisbane to win. I think Geelong's really good, but I think Tom Stewart out definitely hurts, and I think Brisbane have all the tools, and I think we saw from that Collingwood game, you give them an inch, they take everything. And yeah, it makes it really hard for other teams to win. So yeah, they're kind of my pick, I think.
The Lions.
Who's your pick?
You go on the Lions.
Yeah, I think the Lions will win.
My heart wants the Lions.
I think they'll go back. I think Lachie Neale will pull something special out of somewhere. They'll do it for Big O. Big O will be like, he'll bust his guts. He will literally break his own legs for a grand final win, just considering how badly things worked out for him last time. So I can totally see him just pulling the win out. Cam Rayner comes in at halftime quarter like he did before. Cool, bang, bang, bang. That's it. So yeah.
My heart wants the Lions to win.
Okay, you're gonna say
Geelong. My head is telling me it's gonna be a Geelong flag. Why do I think it's gonna be a Geelong flag? I'm saying it's gonna be Geelong because the Lions, as great as they are, I do think they are still a little bit reliant on uncontested marks to keep possession and sort of chip through and poke through. And the Hawks are a little bit like that as well. The Hawks like to transition the ball off halfback by foot, using angles, going out wide, and then having some nice, beautiful kicks. And I think the Lions are similar in that respect, in that they like to kick through you. And they need to have that sort of composure. And in circumstances where they don't have the ball in their hands and they're chip marking and slowing the game down, I think you can put them under a lot of pressure. And I think that's what one of the Cats' best weapons is, that they can place a lot of forward pressure and take away those marks. So my head's telling me that the Cats win this game, and that the Norm Smith medalist is probably Max Holmes. But
okay.
but my heart wants the Lions to win. I love Fagan. Honestly, how can anyone hate Chris Fagan? Like, I like Fagan. I love watching Cam Rayner. I love Harris Andrews as a defender as well. Don't like Zorko as much, but I almost like him more than Bailey Smith. I think Bailey Smith's a really big flog, self-centered flog as well. So yeah, my heart's telling me my heart wants the Lions, but I'm gonna go with my head. I'm gonna tip the Cats to win this game, and Norm Smith to Max Holmes.
Interesting.
Brisbane, Rayner, Norm Smith. There you go. Joe and Big Joe, who's your first pick player in Supercoach 2026?
There's some tricky players, man. Huh? Tom, you reckon TDK?
Because I can't see Marshall staying. So I see Marshall going, and then you got solo ruck TDK, who is dirt cheap. He got to under 400k to end the year.
Can I be cheeky then and say Liam Reedy when he goes to the Blues and ends up being like 130k and then is solo rucking at the Blues, because that's going to happen. So maybe
Pitane was extended. Nah, Pitane was extended, bro.
I don't think he plays. I think he'll be break glass like he's been forever. I don't think he plays, to be honest. If you had to pick a primo, Joe, that wasn't TDK. I think Nazaya. I think if I had to pick someone, I think it would probably be backline, and someone like Nazaya, I think, would probably be that selection for me. I think he's definitely got the box in hand, and I think stacking the backline's the way to go, and I think he'll just build on the season we've got now. So even Nazaya at something like 600k, I think this year especially has shown me, and even in the women's game as well, Joe, stack the backline as much as you can, because the players are just solid. So 100% able to go and just stack the backline with there. Maybe go Nazaya. I could easily see, depending on who's available, just go and take 6 primo defenders and say, well, the midfield's really strong this year. Go 4 midfield rookies and take it from there, really.
Well, I suppose in line with what I said, in me picking TDK because Rowan Marshall's going, I'd pick TDK and Rowan Marshall. TDK solo rucking for St Kilda, and Rowan Marshall solo rucking for Geelong, and they're both not going to be expensive. They're both going to be dirt cheap. I think that is immense value. Immense value in the ruck. 2 rucks going both TDK and Rowan Marshall. That would be hilarious. And if Sam Draper has DPP, Sam Draper has DPP because of his forward ruck status, he could be solo rucking for Brisbane. If Big O or Darcy Fort is let go, he could be getting a lot of minutes in the ruck. You never know. So could end up having all 3 of the moving ruckmen. That would be pretty cool. Bont will be cheaper than he was last year. I think I'll definitely have the Bont in there. Who else is moving clubs? I think Zach Merritt could be really cheap. I think Zach Merritt could win a Brownlow next year, playing for the Hawks. Having Meek tapping the ball down to Newcomb, feeding him the ball, him sharing with Will Day. Just you can't really tag him. He's not an obvious tag target anymore. Do you tag Newcomb? Do you tag Day? Do you tag Merritt? He's just going to be playing in an incredible system. So yeah, I think there's plenty of good options out there, but I'm looking at the rucks more than anything at this point, I guess. I'll go Lions. Zach Bailey for the Norm Smith. Yeah, Zach Bailey's love him. No, Danger is the man. Yeah, look, Danger's final last week was the difference. And I think they said that it was the greatest ever final by a Geelong player on record. Think of all the amazing Geelong players in history. None of them played a final that good. That is how amazing Dangerfield's final was. Can he do it 2 weeks in a row, though, at 35 years of age? I don't think so. Not sure. Brisbane's best is better than Geelong's best. But I think Geelong's floor is higher. Don't know if Danger can do it 2 weeks in a row. Yeah, 100%. It was insane. James, good evening, my friend. How are you? Okay. A show next, or this is it? Is there a show next week, or is this it? I think is the question.
I think we'll have a show next week. I'm not gonna say. Maybe next Tuesday. We'll revisit this next Tuesday. The members have been very lucky, I think, to have us exclusively throughout the year. Obviously, the support and stuff they've given us through that. But yeah, more than happy to, Joe, let's say next Tuesday and just kind of recap.
Yeah, that was.
Recap the year that was and then go from there, really. So, yeah, happy to do that for you guys. That's not a problem.
Jones and Anthony Scott delisted.
Yep. Joe, I'm very sad. The player that I kept the entire season over Connor O'Sullivan to start the season, over Murphy Reed, over Max Hall, and a bunch of other players, my boy Ben Patton has been delisted, Joe.
No!
I'm so sad. Ben
Not
Patton
Ben
in the bin.
Patton.
In the bin, Joe. Oh, I just see.
No!
I've got the delistings up, and Port Adelaide's had quite a few delistings. I wonder if I'm not sure if Dylan Williams is still injured or not, but he's definitely got a few things going for him at the moment. I remember him being quite sneaky. There'll have to be a few clubs looking at him.
Wowzers. Ben Patton. Look, I can understand why he'd be going, to be honest. CCJ, your first pick? Oh, James, you cheeky boy. My Smokey for Supercoast 2020. Darcy Wilmot, Causa. Oh, very nice. Bro, Darcy Wilmot is a king. He is so good, this guy. His last 10 weeks, he's averaged 102. Now, what's going to happen with Kitty Coleman? That's a question. O'Keefe will ruck with Pitto. There you go. Pitto's definitely going to ruck. You don't extend him for 3 years just to have him play VFL. This is not how it works. TDK, if solo ruck and under 100. Oh, he should be. He got to under 400k Tatum, bro. He got under 4. Best two rookies will be Jagger Smith and Smiley. I reckon, looking at, of course, this year's draft, Willem Dersma is going to be a really good pickup because he can play halfback, he can intercept, he can play on ball. He's got good size. He's like a 193, 192 centimeter player. So he really screams young Bond. I don't want to put pressure on him that he's going to become Bond, but just looking at the way he glides and kicks the ball, he gives me a lot of shades of Bond there. So he's one I think that we all pay up for as well next year, Willem Dersma. Cats for the win. Agree with Himes for the norm. And or Zach Guthrie. Or a good story would be Jezza winning it. Yeah, Jezza winning it would be really cool. For sure. Nazaya for the defenders, absolutely. Will Bont be M1 next year? Good question, actually. Where did Bont finish?
I think he'll be there. But I don't know.
Where did he finish this year? Let me have a look. Filters, midfield, average. Bont had the highest average, 130.6. Obviously, he only played the 18 games. Butters had the second highest with 121. He had the 20 games. Who's going to step up? Hugh McCluggage, average 119.
We'll have Baz in the midfield. We'll most likely have Max Holmes in the midfield. There'll be players around 100%.
They won't average 130 though. They won't average 130.
Never know. No Dangerfield.
No. Not Dangerfield plays mostly forward anyway. I wouldn't be surprised. I wouldn't be surprised if Bont is M1 next year and finally wins a Brownlow medal. He's too good not to win a Brownlow. He's too good not to win a Brownlow medal. He's too good not to. If it's not him, then it's Nick Dacos.
Nah, I think Nazaya wins
the Brownlow next year.
Yeah, St Kilda has enough games that they win throughout the year, which means that they're
true.
Favourably on. That
true.
I think he the $2 million man. I think he'll have it. They'll force it. I mean, they almost forced Nick Dacos to do it a couple of years in a row, and
Yep, I agree with that. Now, my boy Wardlaw for first pick at this stage, but things could change.
Nick, Wardlaw? I don't know, man.
Yeah, the Warlord.
Nah, I don't think so. I would love North to get better. I just don't think from a super coach perspective that's really what's going to happen, to be honest.
Yeah. Maybe some draft or trade contact legends. Not sure on anyone else, but I'd watch. You're a good man, Tatum. You're a good man. I think we might be doing some it's general footy stuff, obviously, in terms of maybe reviewing the season that was. When
post would love to, Joe. We've spoken a little bit about off air about post grand final, covering some of the players and things like that, and trades and whatnot that may be beneficial for us in Supercoach land, or just kind of things in general, what they can offer and stuff like that. So we can definitely kind of do that stuff.
In the bloody bin, yes, sir. Wait, let's pull it up. Where is it?
That's that.
In the bloody bin. That's all right. Love the bin. How crazy that Jagger and Smiley will be cheaper than this year.
Yeah,
it's good.
Yeah, 100%. I mean, we see that quite a lot with players. Just hope they don't end up being the guy who should be traded in terms of Josh Gibcus. Careers like that where they should have done what they should have had a really good career and whatnot, but it's just been unlucky that they haven't. Would hate for that kind of thing to happen with these players.
If Jezza wins Norm, which cow gets to wear the medal?
Whichever one he can catch.
The Jersey cow. If he has one, I don't know. Isn't he the best? Yeah, he is. He is the best of the Dersmans for sure. He's a start. It'll be slightly cheaper too. Hopefully, Baz will go 120. I don't know. I think this is the best that we'll see of Baz. I can't see Baz doing better than this. I think this was his best season.
I agree, Joe. There's not like at the Doggies, you could totally say, Libba, McRae, all these people when he played. There was players around who took a bit of the ball and stuff off him. But at that Geelong team, outside of Max Holmes, and they work really well together, I don't think there's really a player who actually, you know what I mean? Like takes the ball away from him and takes the potential in terms of scoring from him. So I can totally agree with what you're saying.
He's going to get Warple added to that midfield mix next year anyway.
Yeah, so. Probably someone else too. Let's be honest. They'll get one or two other good players that are delisted. I would not be surprised if someone like a Dylan Williams, if he ends up coming good, comes to that club. There'll be some other players. I mean, they'll probably reinvent Jack Billings too, knowing how good they are with these kind of players. Just, you were fit, you were good at one point, come to our club, and hey, presto, now is a Brownlow medalist. So
Jack Billings. Brownlow medalist? Jack Billings?
Who knows, man? I mean, Jack Martin's going to play a grand... Joe, if I said to you, Jack Martin leaves Carlton last year at the end of the year, ends up playing the grand final, you would not put money on. You would not put money on that happening.
Why not?
Guess what's happening? Jack Martin grand final. Like,
yeah, but he plays for Geelong. Why would you not put money on that?
Before we knew he was going to Geelong, if you said Jack Martin is going to win a grand final, or win a grand final, at least play in a grand final, you just don't know. Yeah, Jack Billings could come back. He could have a really good off season. Geelong has a sneaky list spot left. Whatever happens, and then it's oh. You played in a premiership. You know what it's about. You know what's going on. Why not, Joe?
Yeah, you watch. They got him for nothing, and then they can sell him off next year for $1 million because he's a premiership player now. Surely Willem Desmond should get number 40. So we can call him WD-40. Man, he's a very good lube. He's a great lubricant. He's a very smooth operator. Butters, Dacos, and Bont clear standouts, 100%. Butters, Dacos, Bont. I mean, they are the clear standouts. And I think maybe Merritt at the Hawks could potentially, because I think he's just going to get so much ball. It's going to be ridiculous. Going to try...
especially with Will Day.
Yeah, exactly.
And stuff too. The ball's just going to go everywhere.
Yeah, Warple can piss off, and then that midfield will be Newcomb, Day, and Merritt. Far out. That's too hot. Going to try go with the under 30s, 100%. Absolutely, Tatum. I said that I was going to do this year, and I didn't end up doing it. 100%. I'm doing that in 2026. I'm backing it in. I'm sticking fat with that rule from now on. I said at the start, no under 30, no 30s and above. We're doing it next year, god damn it. No 30-year-olds and above. New John get the most out of him. He was always a good player. 100%. 100%. Uncle Akka! Howdy, mate. How you doing?
What's happened, buddy?
You've come in just in time. We're about to finish up. You came in right in this end.
We've been streaming for a while, unfortunately.
I mean, that's just how we do it.
Yeah. Drive home on Thursday, heading into the grand final. Joe, I got a question, and I'm going to put you on the spot. Have you locked in if you're coming to the Essendon game? Can the fans come and see us at the Essendon North game on grand final eve?
The fans aren't coming to see us on grand final eve. Are the fans really going to go to Windy Hill to go watch North Melbourne?
I'm giving them the option to go. They could go.
What's the weather like on Friday?
Let's have a look.
Bomb Melbourne weather. Bomb Melbourne forecast. Friday. 80% chance of 0 to 6 millimeters. Partly cloudy, high chance of showers, most likely in the morning and afternoon.
So it's nothing.
Winds. What do you mean nothing?
So it's 6 millimeters, bro.
What do you mean 6 millimeters is nothing, bro?
It doesn't feel like much.
It is for the fans. Rain.
No. Do it for the fans.
No, stuff it, bro. I'm not going to get rained on.
Joe's coming, boys. I'm
not going to get rained on and watch my team get thumped by 100 points against a freaking juggernaut. If it was playing at Marvel Stadium, we'd do it. No worries. Far out. What the hell? It's mainly because of my Supercoach team being named Warlords Wizards. I almost don't have a choice in the matter.
Oh, you
wouldn't have him anywhere near my first pick. You don't have to pick your... Just because you're Warlords Wizards doesn't mean you have to have Wardlaw in your team, James.
Maybe I'll call my team CCJ all day. CCJ bad contract or something, just to put some pressure on the club. You know,
bruh, you don't make arbitrary rules for yourself. Yeah. Okay, Frankie, how you doing, man? No,
what's up, Frankie?
Hey, better late than never, as they say. Better late than never.
Yep.
good to see you. Good to see you. Otherwise, we normally go for a lot longer, but I mean, it's end of season, end of year, and there's really not too much to talk about at this point. Only one game left. Good fun. I think we've spoken about our tips. Thanks for joining. Much love to all of you. Hope you've enjoyed the year that was. Hopefully, you guys have learnt a lot and that you've had a lot of fun along the way. We definitely have had a ball. The season didn't end up as well as good as we would have hoped it would have for either of our Supercoach or real life football teams.
Yeah.
But there's always next year.
Yeah, 100%. I think kind of similar to everything, if you don't win, if you don't end up winning money, I could probably say that as the second part. There's always learnings that you take throughout the game and throughout the season and whatnot. And Supercoach definitely has that going for us. So even if we didn't win, we'll be back and we'll take it learning. And, we won't trade in the wrong players too much and chase the rookies and, be behind in the game like I have been for a while. So, yeah, we'll take it as it comes and just enjoy ourselves. And I think this season, especially, Joe, as we've had kind of the members and everything else like that throughout the year, it's definitely been a case of like you guys have made the year for us compared to maybe our season and our stream and, everything like that. Showing up every Tuesday, showing up every Monday or Thursday night or whatever the streaming is going to be like. It's been you guys more than anything else. So, thanks for jumping on.
No, honestly, you guys, yeah. If you guys weren't coming and hanging out with us in the live streams, man, we really wouldn't be much point of us doing this. So thanks to you guys, and we always love your feedback. We always love to hear from you guys what you'd like us to do, what you'd like to see, because ultimately we want to make content that you guys want to see, that you guys want to actually consume. And we want to scratch your back, and we want to hit that itch right where it hurts the most. Won't be playing Supercoach next year, but we'll be here for a good. Uncle Akka, congratulations, mate, on a Supercoach career. Well done,
bro.
Always
you're going to play
Supercoach.
I'm going to get you. I'm going to get you back to Supercoach, mate. 5 minutes every week. That's it. You don't have to do much. 5 minutes every week. Tune in for the drive home. You're done. That's it, mate.
There's not going to be a sub rule anymore, Uncle Akka. It will be the cash gen will be pure and sweet.
Yep, your player's named, he's playing. He just might not score as much because of the game time. But outside of that, it's all good.
Exactly. But honestly, thank you guys so much for your help and for your support. It's been awesome. Look forward to some off-season content that is going to be, we'll be ranging. It'll be a bunch of different things. And hope you enjoy your break. Stay safe. Enjoy the upcoming summer. If you're going to gamble, please gamble responsibly. Imagine what you could win instead. And we look forward to seeing you on the next one.
Please do not pick Dempsey for the Norm Smith like I just saw someone do for like 50-1. I know Mark's watching and he's going to pick it now that I've said it, but please do not pick Dempsey for 50-1. Like there's better ways. Give me $50. That's all I'm going to say. Don't.
How do you know that he's not going to win though?
Mate. That's true. That's true. I do not know that he's not going to win, but it's 50-1 for a reason. Let's be honest.
100%. Yes, it is a celebration. It is a celebration. Thank God the submissive. Thank God the submissive. Thank God the sub going. Okay.
Yeah.
Absolutely. CCJ for days. I like it. There you go, James. If you ever want a nice, catchy name, you can ask Big J. He's really good at that.
Yep.
And he's really good at growing out a beard. Look at that beard, bro. What the hell? This is amazing.
It's getting there. It's getting there. The wife says I need to chop it, but we'll see.
Yeah, I agree with her. That's insane.
We'll see.
Looks very thick and bushy and very, very mountain man vibes.
Guys, merch as well. I've been hassling Joe to get the merch done up. So merch over the next couple of weeks, hopefully.
Would you guys buy the merch? Would you guys buy the shirt? So there's a bounce. Would you buy the shirt?
Yeah, that will, Joe. No dramas.
Thumbs up,
Yep.
yeses or pleases, or yes, of course, and the why nots. That's what it looks like. Simple, center bounce, little logo.
Mine looks
here.
better because Joe needs a new camera. His camera's not great, so mine looks a lot clearer.
It just says a center bounce on it, and there'll be other designs. There'll be other designs in time. But yeah, thank you guys so much. Really appreciate it, and we hope you all have a wonderful new year.
Catch you, fellas. See you
Merry
on Thursday,
Christmas.
5:30.
Happy birthday, all those jazz, all that jazz. He's dead to me. He is dead to me.